Governor Bob Ferguson today was in Seattle at Food Lifeline, their headquarters, and that's where he held this big press conference surrounded by supporters of the recently signed into law income tax, or for now, what is a tax on millionaires, those making a million or more, taxed 9.9% of that threshold above $1 million or the combined household income in excess of $1 million. And in this press conference, several people spoke, but I'm going to share with you the governor's comments specifically, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. Now, this income tax repeal initiative, we'll just call it 645. It's got a longer title. It's IP 26, which is the year 2026. IP is Initiative to the People, 645. They've made these initiatives so complicated now. So we'll just call it 645 from here on out. Okay. That is the hoped repeal if voters should choose to repeal the income tax. We're waiting right now to find out if, in fact, the Secretary of State is going to certify that for the November ballot. It is likely that that is going to happen. Supporters of the repeal turned in more than 511,000 signatures on July 2nd. They only need about 309,000 of those to be valid voter signatures to qualify. Now, some of those get tossed out because people accidentally sign twice or maybe intentionally sign twice, not realizing you can't do that. Other people sign who are not already registered voters in the state of Washington. Those also get tossed out. But assuming that this is certified, and we'll find out in the next week or so from Secretary of State Steve Hobbs, it will be on the November ballot. So now Governor Ferguson, as I mentioned today, was surrounded by income tax supporters in this press conference, again, held at the headquarters for Food Lifeline in Seattle. Here's part of what he said.
Washingtonians are going to be facing an important choice in November regarding the future of the millionaire's tax. It's essentially a choice between moving our state forward by making life more affordable for Washingtonians and giving 138,000 business owners a tax break, or going backwards, rolling back tax breaks for small businesses and seeing costs go up for Washingtonians. It's a choice between investing in our kids' education, and it's great to see some kids here today, by the way. It's a choice between investing in our kids' education and childcare access and affordability, or going backwards with cuts to education and limiting access to childcare. In short, it's a choice between the future and the past. I am confident Washingtonians will see through this attempt to roll back our progress, because that's what they have done before. Hedge manager Brian Haywood is, of course, behind this initiative. It is not his first rodeo. 3 prior attempts he has made to roll back progress in Washington state. Capital gains tax, he put that on the ballot. 64% of Washingtonians rejected his attempt to roll that back. The Climate Commitment Act, once again, over 60% of Washingtonians rejected his attempt to roll that back. Washington Cares, 55% of Washingtonians rejected that attempt to roll back progress. In other words, he's 0 for 3. He is struck out. He's back at the plate again, which is absolutely his right. But it is clear that while Brian Haywood has a vision for this state, it just happens to be a vision that the people of Washington repeatedly reject overwhelmingly.
So from here on out, you will start to see, and as we get closer to November, more and more advertisements on both sides of this heated argument. It's going to be on your TV, your radio, your social media feeds. You're probably not going to be able to get away with it because this is considered to be one of the most contentious ballot issues that has been debated in the state of Washington in any recent history. Now, supporters of the millionaire's tax are funded by some pretty deep pockets. They've got the Washington Education Association, which is the state teachers union, some other labor groups, WFSE, SEIU, locals are all dumping tons of money into convincing voters not to repeal the income tax. And then you've got Let's Go Washington and supporters, including the NFIB, BIAW, and others that are going to be dumping money into convincing you to support the income tax repeal.